true, no? Keep the mind normal, balance. And why? Because everybody want to be like happy and calm and peace, right? I guess nobody want intentionally like angry, grumpy. I don't think so, right? It's kind of
Nothing consciously, but I think some people crave it.
craving.
The drama, you know,
Like what?
just in life, again, like unconsciously, like
Unconsciously.
I don't know if it's
Oh,
really complacent or bored, but
um,
they secretly desire
I
it.
see, I see, I see. Unconsciously, yeah, okay. Intentionally, uh,
Can you hear me?
can you hear me? What, Daniel? I think
Yes,
you.
perfectly. Yeah, perfectly. Yeah,
Okay, cool. So
perfectly.
maybe you, I don't know how to like unmute. Maybe three of you online because we can hear something from you.
Yes, I'll mute again.
Okay, thank you. Okay, all right. So I was thinking I'm going to share the textbooks through screen, but anyway, we were talking a little bit about we are going to study about mind. So, but before doing that, let's create our pure motivation, and that's very important to create the motivation is that lead you where you are going to go. So we gather here to you know the main purpose is try to find some meaning or purpose in our life, right? So then when you say purpose and meaning in our life, it has different layers out there, right? Some people are more like they could, you know, spend their life more meaningful, some less, some middle, but it's depend on each individual. There are slightly different side that. That's also really good. You have to have like a variety. Variety is making it rich, right? Not everybody, same. It doesn't really design the same. It is because we all have created some kind of cause and condition to bring about ourselves like human being, and the final thing is everybody. There's one very common thing what we have is we all want to be happy and peace and calm and nice as possible, as much as possible. So for that, and we really need some help or support from colleague, from teachers, from senior, from religious leader, or from parents or friends. And here we are gathered. We are seeking some, if possible, very very long lasting happiness, not really temporary one. The temporary happiness, it doesn't last long. It just like what I think the 37 practice of the Buddhist way he says, the mundane pleasant or the mundane happiness is like a, like what was that? The dew, the like a drop on the grass. It just fade instantly. So we want much long, if possible, long lasting happiness. And for that, what we need to do is we need to clean our mind, actually, meaning we need to just remove all the negativities, the dirts. Of course, it's not easy. And just identifying is not easy, number one, right? Once you identify, then how we are going to work with that? And I think the basic remedy lies within our own mind. To clean our mind, the remedies also lie within our own mind. What are there? It's like a compassion and wisdom. And then, of course, patience. These are all there. So now we are the main the main motivation is to make ourselves really good human being, that we can offer some service others. Service, offer service as a doesn't mean like you are kind of superior and others are not. if we try to serve others, it's really the maximum benefit actually bring ourselves. You can tell it that actually. So when you usually when you do them, creating setting motivation, is visualize like a refuge field and then the bodhicitta field. So refuge field, what I mean by a refuge field is probably could visualize or invite all those wonderful or enlightened being. We use the word enlightened being, meaning someone who is fully awakened, someone's embodiment of compassion or wisdom, who serve humanity to bring about peace and happiness, irrespective of any nationalities or genders, or those who are, when you say embodiment of compassion and wisdom, who always ready to help others no matter what. And what are we here? Visualize as His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and surrounded by all the other, enlightened being in front of us. And imagine that they are here with us in person. And then why we are invited that we want to work to make ourselves better person. And for what? For all other, to benefit all sentient beings. For that, it's bodhicitta field. We call it bodhicitta field. So bodhicitta doesn't mean like someone Buddhist who do some ritual things. It means like someone who want to transform our heart like a very, very pure and altruistic mind. I want to do some, my body, speech, and mind. I want to transform my body, speech, and mind to benefit others as much as possible. And if you can't really benefit, at least what we can do is restrain harming, right? So when you say, I'm not going to harm anyone, meanings it have to start from very, very, from personal level, in some society, when you say harming, what does it mean harm and what is not harm? Meaning, if someone is come with a stick or some stone and throwing, then harming. But if you do not really see some sort of physical, manifest sort of thing, then they're not harming. But that's not really true. Sometimes, our mind is so kind of, we the mind cleverness, and what was that? There's somebody was using about clever and wisdom, making the differentiation between the cleverness and wisdom. Clever could be positive, but sometimes clever could be naive, could be using for wrong thing, and we stirring up because of narrow-minded, because of selfish reason, and then they would seemingly they are kind of successful to doing something, but in reality damaging a lot, stirring up and gossiping because of what we call the other one, superstition. And we have to stop this. We want not harm others, we need to stop this. Be honest yourself. That's really important, because if you're honest and try to be honest, try to be transparent, try to be identify some of this negativity within ourselves, within the mind, and then I want to just to rid off is not easy, but at least recognize that's not right, it's not helpful, and then keep on regular basis. These are not right thing. They are sometimes it's almost like a poison. Actually, it's really make you sick, right?
Conniving sometimes.
Yeah, it make you yeah. And then sometimes we are more like in a denial. We do not really accept what is going on within yourself. Is no, I didn't do that. I wasn't thinking, even though you're, like full of jealous, full of selfishness, full of what do you call it, like suspicion, doubt, fear, and thing. Um, yes, we all have the weaknesses, and then we need to recognize it, and then there's a way that we can make it stronger, make it more positive, transform into the, the opposite rather than, this cool. So because of that, how to clean our mind. That's not easy. We can clean it, we can wash it by applying the right remedy. Right remedies, educate more. Educate meaning with the motivation that I want to become very calm and peaceful and a benefiting person with with humility, humbleness, less pride, less aggressive, less sort of jealous, less competitive mind, and competition. Sometimes there are some people ask question competitive thing, especially those students who are studying so hard and try to get set into like some, what do you call it, national entrance exam. Someone when they finish high school and they're actually going to set into you know entrance exam to get like a best college or the best university. There are some competitive there. If recognizing other those who are doing good in studying, good in the society, and then if the mind that I want to do like him or her too, this kind of mind is okay. I think this kind of competitive mind is okay, but with this motivation, with this kind of jealous uneasiness of seeing other people good qualities, but with the appreciation of other people in good qualities, and then you want to do that, that's good thing to do. But with the motivation that he or she's doing always good, but why me not? And I want to push him or her down, and I want to be the number one. This kind of competition, no, we don't want that. If you have many people who are good-hearted, the world will be better, right? Will be better. So that's why, I remember one time it was like a huge gathering in Dharamsala. And sometime in the summer, we know His Holiness gave like a teaching for, we called it the Tibetan youth. So most of the audience are youth, meaning from college student, high school, university, mostly student, like a student. And someone was actually asked the question to His Holiness about the competition thing. In this related with the studies. I see there are a lot of competition going on about the study, and by competing each other, sometimes make some progress too. But at the same time, sometimes some people commit suicide because of this, the competitive mind's too high. And what is your thought? That was the question. There are sometimes you have they make good progress with the with the mind, with the competitive mind, and then there's the negative side is they kill themselves if they not fulfill what they are wishing with, if doesn't with what was that, if their dream doesn't come true, they're desperate, they're devastated, and then they feel like the whole world is hopeless or something like that. It shouldn't happen that, you should always, there's always something there, So that was the question came, and His Holiness said, you know, if recognizing other people good qualities in studies, work, and anything, and then you want to do like him or her, this kind of competitive mind is okay. You want to do being you also wanted to be a good human being, good with well education and with good hearted, but just the competitive mind with the selfish reason, and also a little bit mixed up with jealous, and this may lead you in wrong direction. I think that was his answer. I can't remember exactly, but this kind of thing there. Anyway, why we came here? Oh yeah. I was saying how do we wash our mental dirt, and then okay, so let's do some quiet meditation. Few minutes. Think about And I think we should just feel ourselves a really fortunate person. And if you feel like I am good human being, I am feel fortunate person, and I have the precious human life, and I can do a lot of good thing for others. Just think about that, and then maybe when you do some Singapore meditation, we focus on different object. Today, maybe think about the precious human life. Human life is so precious, and things make like maybe not really compare with like animals or the, but just check what are the good qualities I have, and then what are the weaknesses or the not that useful qualities I have, and how can I really minimize this, the not not useful thing, and then like make stronger the good qualities. Okay, we will do the meditation on that for 5 minutes. Okay. Okay, relax a little bit, and then we'll work with the psychology. Oops. We didn't put the photocopy, but it's okay to use your phone. If next time you can have your iPad or laptop. You have
I leave it in the car when I come in, so.
Oh, I
next
see.
time,
Okay. Yeah,
Same for the
yeah. Because on the website, the First Wisdom website, I think only the PDF is available on there.
Yeah, I don't have a printer, so I didn't.
I see. Maybe not necessarily. I mean, it's good to have like hard copy sometime. It's more like it tangible. It's good to have like something that you can hold it, but not necessarily. Everybody use the PDF. I mean, a digital one, and so that's okay. And many people use this. Even though if you have like iPad or something like that, you can write a note at the side as well. So it's okay. All right, so what we are going to do is it's called Buddhist psychology. As I mentioned earlier, it's not necessarily something that it's a religious thing. Study about psychology. Yes, it's named Buddhist because it's originated from the tradition, the teaching that given by the Buddha. And Buddha discovered how our mind work. By meditating, by experiencing, and then he share what he found is the best for us and what is not helpful. What are the mind and mental factors that not helpful for us, and what are the mind and mental factors that not really helpful for us, not benefit for us, and then the one that not benefit, not the one that not helpful, try to rid out of it. The meaning try to overcome it, and then the one that helpful, that one that need to be more nurture. And he practiced, and then he shared his experience with others. He just shared with his experience with others. He didn't create it, he didn't invent it, he didn't, somebody gave him, and he shared with it. And this tradition came from like 2,500, little more than nearly 2,600 years now. And it's very, very rich tradition. Meaning it's really rich knowledge. It's human knowledge, right? Or maybe even animals. Sometimes you can give some training for the animals, right? It's like in dogs and cats. You can give them some training and they behave pretty good. Like the cat, Bill Cat. He's really good at actually. He want to he's acting sometimes like a little baby. So we can give some training for the animal too, right? So for human, of course, and you say like I mean, it is kind of common to say precious human life or not in this culture. I mean, I'm talking about in American, culture. Wait, do you talk about precious human life or not? Human life is precious. Do you?
Yeah.
See, same thing. And not really something like a Buddhist thing. Why you say precious human life is precious? Why you say that precious human life? Human life is so precious. Why?
You can be gone the next day.
What was that?
Your life can be gone the next day,
Mhm.
right? So you just have to think or know that every day is a gift,
Right.
right?
Every day is a gift. Your
Yeah.
life is a gift.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Right.
Think it's
So-
precious because it is hard to attain.
Okay, good. She was saying it's precious because it's hard to attain. Okay, it's a little deeper kind of a philosophical, answer. And it's hard to, that's really true. There are so many different answers you can have. And then not necessarily all answer I don't think there's one correct answer there. Maybe okay, maybe there is one really good answer there, but it is very hard to obtain. And so this is such a gift. And then there are another answer could be like, well, if human being if you use for the right way, you can do so much benefit. You can you can be like to lead many beings into the right direction. Meaning here, right direction mean find mental kind of calm, satisfaction, peace, and happiness. Least cruel, less sort of violence. And yeah, this is the main thing is human being mind. Human mind is something we have to be really careful where to use, how to use, and we should use for the right rather than the wrong. And if you if you use for the wrong, then maybe you can destroy ourselves. If you use for the right, we will build. We will build ourselves. Then we will build the society. We will build you know, the whole country, and I mean, sorry, the whole universe. Anyway, and then here it says in Buddhist psychology, and that the number one that I ask a question in the text. It's very interesting. Why study mind? Why we have to study mind? It's okay, you can write and read, and then you can be a good singer or musician. And why you don't just play with some other, kind of external thing rather than study mind? I'm just joking. Uh, when it is a why study mind? Any answer? Anything that can come in our mind? You can ask why you study mind, because our mind, we have it, we experience each and every single moment. If you're dead, then our mind is gone, and our body and mind is separated, right? Otherwise, it's always with us. So why you have to study mind?
Are you saying why we have a steady mind or study mind?
Study mind.
Study mind.
Yes.
Because we each have one. We all, because everything that we do and experience is kind of filtered through our mind.
That's a wonderful thing.
So then that has that has implications for everything's experience as well. And it can impact everything.
Wow, that's good. Yes.
I think it allows us to bring like-minded, quote unquote, like-minded people into our space, right? And where sometimes we run into people who don't, I don't want to say think like we do, but kind of have the same virtues. We end up bringing in the trauma and the drama.
Right.
So, but I think sometimes, like Jason was saying, like people thrive on that, right? So it's like I wanna meet this person and understand this person and how their mind thinks. And then when I realize I'm not so good. So
I think too,
Yes.
you study my mind so that I know my mind is a trickster for me.
Tricksters.
To say no, that's like sort of know my mind well enough to say that's not where I want to go. It's led me places like I shouldn't have gone.
And on that same note, it's like if you're critical of
Those
yourself,
who are online, can you hear them what they're saying? Good.
like they're tricking themselves as well. So you can forgive yourself for it, so you might have to forgive them too.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think one of the other big motivations is we confront the problem of suffering, right? And we say, oh, geez,
Right.
this doesn't feel so good. What is the thing that suffers?
Right.
Oh, geez.
Which probably is what drives us to analyze our minds in the first place.
Right, it's like,
how do I make this better?
Ah.
It's like once we confront these kinds of issues, or right, like dealing with people who are lacking in the virtues, or people who have certain problems, or we recognize these issues with ourselves, and it's like, how do I get this thing under control? Like, we have to understand the mind if we want to confront these kinds of problems, right? So it's like those sorts of motivating factors that make us analyze the mind.
That's beautiful.
Sometimes it can work for us, and the mind can work for us, and sometimes against us.
I see. Sometimes the mind for us, sometimes against us.
Getting control of that is
Yeah.
really, really important, and what you were saying too.
Overanalyzing everything.
Yeah.
I have a
Mm.
tendency to
Wow, that's good.
overanalyze, like,
See,
boom. sometimes.
that's beautiful. So let's see what here he says. Anybody online, do you have anything to say why we study mind?
I was going to say that the
Right.
mind controls our emotions, and our emotions control our actions. So it's very important to study the root of our actions, which is the mind.
That's beautiful. Thank you. Anyone
Well,
else?
some
Yes.
people want to study mind because they want to be enlightened.
They wanted to be enlightened. Okay.
And also for the personal transformation, I would say, to be able to understand how the mind functions, to be able to transform our own way of being and our actions, as Brian was saying.
By transforming the mind, you can transform your actions. Right. And Hansla, why you study mind? Debate. You debate a lot. I know that. Yeah, we have to do. We need to debate.
Well, when you just said the question, why study the mind? I thought, wow, this is an interesting question. And it kind of like made me think back of the time before I met my first teacher. I didn't even know what mind was. I didn't know the concept of mind. At that time, when I was still a devout Lutheran, the thing closest to it was the soul. Sometimes people say the soul and things like that. So since I have become aware of this word, the mind, and its implications in philosophic terms, that's when I'm really, really kind of like, I love to get to the bottom of it. I'm way far. I'm very far away, but I
That's
like
okay.
asking questions.
Far away.
I like
Or
asking.
less. And we're trying to walk closer. Right? Okay, let's see what the Buddha says here, and then some of the other, like a master says here about that. In the question is, why study mind? There was a question put, and you can write why study mind, and you can think about when you have time, and you just try to find your own answer, and then maybe you can refer in a book or something. Where he said both the world of sentience and non-sentience operate in all multiple shades, purely driven by mind. Interesting. It was actually by Dhammapada, is actually Buddha's word. It says both the world of sentient beings, sentience and non-sentience operate in all the multiple shades, purely driven by the mind. Did you get it? It's kind of
So to clarify that,
mhm.
when it talks about non-sentience, that usually refers to things that don't have mind.
Yes.
So it's saying that ones that do have mind see all the non-conscious in the shades. Is that what I mean?
Both the world of sentience and non-sentience operate in all the multiple shades, purely driven by mind. Purely driven by the mind. They don't have mind. Yes.
Mind labeled curtain, brownish, labeled, kind of like because it's pulled back. I don't know.
Right.
Mean that non-sentients have mind. It sounds like it means that, but it doesn't.
No, no,
mean
no,
that,
no,
right?
no. It doesn't mean that.
Mm.
Sentient and non-sentient. Again, sometimes you do a lot of, you can do a lot of, like analyzing or investigation, research. What is sentient? What is non-sentient? Because there are some people who think like plants are sentient too. Some think no. You think plants are sentient? So can you explain why? Because I know there are like some characteristic that the plants have, right?
Well, I've spent a lot of time with plants
Uh-huh.
outside and in my house,
Right.
and I can sometimes feel them laughing or unhappy. It's all been like almost intuitive.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But last year I read a book called The Light Eaters,
Light eater.
because plants eat light.
I see. Yeah. For the what do you call it? Photosynthesis, right? Mm-hmm.
And it's by this woman who was a scientific writer,
Uh-huh.
and she took a year or two off and went all around the world talking to botanists to ask them if plants had intelligence and could think.
Mm.
And she collected all this data,
Mm.
facts
Mhm.
about plants. And I would recommend this book as much as I recommend the Dhammapada,
Mhm.
because it will blow your mind. And plants have all these medicinal properties, which they can adapt from plants. If
Mhm.
a plant here has a property, the plant here can get it sometimes. They can mimic plants in your garden so that they won't get weeded.
Mhm.
They can
It's
do these phenomenal things. It's a different intelligence.
okay. So you use the intelligent here. So the plants have intelligence.
Yes.
So how do you know? I'm just
Because they
intelligent.
because they
It's really good way to debate. We do it in the text mentioned it. What you're saying is actually mentioned in the text. Yeah, first.
for us, and I think they'll probably be here after us.
Mm.
And
After us.
evolved, plants have evolved for so much longer. We just don't think we don't think they have it.
Okay,
And so
now
therefore
evolve
we say
when you said evolve is you go with this evolution sort of thing, right? Let's see. Like what you explain about this plant, there's some type of reactions there. It is because of they have mind, or is it because of some chemical reaction, or maybe it's some, kind of the whatever the elements inside that it makes happen that, or what?
Well, I think
Because the
it's hard to
light,
say what
Mhm.
mind is.
Right,
They said it's clear knowing.
clear knowing.
I think I read that in this.
Yeah. That's really okay.
So if mind is clear knowing, all the studies seem to suggest or state that plants also have clear knowing. They know
Okay, plant recognize us.
they
If
recognize your
okay,
emotions.
we can debate now. Okay, plant. Suppose it's no right or wrong. It's a no right or wrong answer here. We can do the debate. Debate means we can ask. Okay, if the plants know what is what, and okay, suppose there's apple trees outside over here. Okay, no, I'm just creating this which you do. Okay, apple trees outside there, which has like a full of apples there. So the apples know that we need the apple, and then if the apple know we need apple to eat, why the apple walk to us and eat? I'm not walk to us, then put our plate, come on our plates. We have to go and grab it. Why? Not have legs. In order to be able to walk, you should have a leg. In order to be able to walk, it is necessary to have leg.
By definition, I would say yes.
Oh, how about your car? You can,
Your car is a walk, it rolls.
yeah, walk or roll. It's a different label.
Yeah.
Your car doesn't have a leg. How come that you came from your home to here?
Yeah, again, I wouldn't call it walking.
It'd be a long walk.
No. Oh,
Along the lines of what she's saying, though, they have those studies that show that plants grow differently when you play different music to them. So that
Right.
would imply that they have some sort of perception of outside of
some sort of
which
perception.
works in my mind, I think.
That's right. That's really interesting to know. Exactly. What
It's a life form.
Well, I think
life and sentient. Yes, you can do a lot of studies with that. Life, sentient, what kind of property or aspect should life have? What kind of thing that you should have? Mind, life, sentence are all kind of fascinating thing to learn, right? And in many of the texts in the ancient tradition where you have, what you're saying about the plant, you really have mentioned that, yes.
So the definition of sentient, I just looked it up because I was unsure what it really
Uh-huh.
was. Having the power of perception by the senses,
By the senses.
conscious, or characterized by sensation and consciousness.
It might have a different meaning in Buddhism.
Right.
Which you think, which is what?
The being which wanders in samsara.
Being in wonder. No, you say what do you mean?
Being with what?
A
Being-
sentient being. A being which is in samsara, which wanders. in
Sentient being.
samsara, like uncontrollably.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sentient beings. What you're saying is that's the definition of the sentient being. Sentient, but here is sentient, but not really sentient and non-sentient. Sentient actually include all, even the Buddhas, I think. And a non-sentient means those who don't have the mind, right? But sentient being, when you say sentient beings, it's referred to the samsaric sentient being, sentient, yes. Sentient beings is a samsaric being, meaning those who are taking rebirth in samsara again and again uncontrollably under the sway of affliction and contaminated karma. This is known in the, like classical text, they says. But then, I know when you're saying about this sentient, conscious, unconscious, these sometimes they use so many loosen in a way, and maybe some, example, and then if someone is unconscious, meaning they don't have mind or what, unconscious, right? Conscious meaning someone who is aware thing, but not really necessarily talking about the consciousness of the mind, the clear and knowing, which is, is number one is actually what you have to think about is this is, both the world of sentient and non-sentient operate in all multiple shade, purely driven by the mind. What does it really mean is everything is like not created the mind, but it's like operate with the power, we operate by the power of the mind.
The mind creates the need, and the need says, I need curtains.
I
I need a desk. I need a carpet.
Needs and wants is another thing there. Needs, yes, we need house, we need food, but want and need. Oh, what was that? Somebody was saying that the world have enough for our needs, but there's not enough our want. That was so nice statement came up. It was nobody, no kind of religious figure or somebody. It's just human, like pure human being is saying that. Oh, wow, that's so powerful and profound things there. Anyway, so what we are, we can dig in more about what is mind and what is not mind. And sentient, okay, you talk about whether the plants are sentient or not sentient. Some ancient school in Indian, philosophical school where they think plants have mind. They assert plants have mind, and then the reason they give is they are different. The similar reason what you have saying, the reason they are given is plants have mind, because some plant in the at night they sleep like their leaves just what do you call it, close it up, and then they sleep. And then in the morning when the lights come, then the sunrise, they open again. And see, and I remember some scientist was having having conversation with His Holiness about this. And His Holiness was saying, this the closing or the opening of mind, opening, the closing, whatever the reaction going on with the plants. He was saying it may be some sort of some chemical reaction rather than conscious. That the knowing, clearer knowing, the mind, that the definition, the clearer knowing is only sentient beings or the beings, not really, non-sentient meaning plants, trees, sorry, mountain, water, rock, these are, non-sentient. And those who have mind, those who have some sort of feeling, okay, oh yeah, we'll go for more all these different things. Those who can sense, who can make some differentiation between, and again, this intelligent thing came up. Artificial intelligence is not intelligent. Artificial intelligence is created by the people, right? Human beings. It's a what was that program, right? What do you call it? Program by someone who have this intelligence. Anyway, in this text where you have them, they mention plant have mind because they sleep by closing their leaves. Interesting. What was that? You have something to say?
Yeah, I have a question, Mr. Martin. It doesn't the Buddha talk about like certain plant spirits or tree spirits?
Tree spirit. They
Forgetting the term for it, starts with a G, I believe. These sorts of tree spirits not in samsara.
No, tree. What do you mean by tree spirit? They may have the spirit meaning some beings who have not physical gross physical kind of form like us. There are so many different kind of beings in the world, in the samsaric world. So some have physical form that we could visible eye with the naked eyes are visible. Some are non-physical, visible, but spirit, in form of spirit. Like in hot spring water area. In traditionally in Tibetan, in our tradition, also in Bon tradition. Have you heard there's some Bon tradition? People do some sort of worship in like a trees, and especially where there's special kind of water, it's called hot spring water. We consider that there's a lot of nagas. Have you heard the nagas? And they, this is their home. It's a sentient beings. It's not really the plant itself. Some beings, some living beings, the trees, of course, bird, right? Birds in the trees are their home. And there are some other, like a, like a non-physical, those who don't have physical things like us, they reside in that kind of area. And it's called a spirit, right? So it's their home. If you destroy, if you damage them, somehow we get some kind of sickness. It's quite true, actually. If you damage,
it's 11 hours.
If you damage some of this, like a Nagas area, Nagas place, you can get a lot of illnesses problem. Sometimes you get like a physically manifest sort of illness, and then you have to do some certain Naga pujas. There are different Naga pujas are there, prayer rituals there. And then, if whatever, no matter whatever doctor or medicine you use doesn't really heal, and you have to do the particular kind of rituals practice, do some cleansing, fire pujas, putting up some different prayer flag and certain rituals, and that help. That really clear this problem. Interesting. It happened in this many different, part of the world. Yeah. Anyway, so it's okay to talk this now here. maybe, you can think about, make some kind of, oh, Hansla, you have something to say? You were raising your hand.
I think you explained it already very beautifully, but I just I just remembered something when
Okay.
you were talking about the plant, and then the gentleman was talking about the roots or the way they support each other. There is a study that I've read. I think it's an American lady, and maybe she is Canadian. I'm not quite sure. I don't really,
Okay.
it doesn't really matter. But she has made these studies of trees outside in the wilderness, and the root system kind of like is connected to each other. So a lot of these trees, they have one mother tree, and then one central tree. So these trees underneath, when there is one tree that has an illness or that has not enough water, these trees underneath the root system will bring the water to there and things like that. So it's very interesting. This whole talk about trees and plants it's a fascinating thing. And there was one other thing that I remembered when you were talking about it, the tree spirits actually. And I remember my grandmother talking about tree spirits, because she lived in a part of Germany where it was more rural and more, how you call it? Undeveloped. And she remembered what her grandmother was talking. Yes. Maybe she was talking about.
With that, I don't know why.
She was talking about things that her grandmother used to say to her about tree spirits. So it's always very interesting to bring this up. It's interesting.
That's really true. What you're sharing is, I do have this kind of experience too, in the rural area, like in the mountain, in the Himalaya, and where I grew up. We talk about, you see here, we use the, like a spirit of the tree, and we also talk about the spirit of rock, spirit of water, but then there's something for sure there, but that doesn't mean the tree have spirit, the rock have spirit, or the rock, it has like the rock is sentence, or the tree is a sentience, or the water is a sentient. But those beings who reside in the rock, in the trees, in the water, especially some, it's hot spring water, medicinal water. We have a lot of medicinal water there. Some people who have like arthritis, some, like, what do you call it? Physical kind of a problem. Sometimes these hot spring water, they're really medicinal water. It really help. So it's a nature. It's actually nature gave it to you. It's a nature. It's coming from the nature. And then about when Justin was saying about the trees, some of the roots, how it's really, how do you really grow and like spread like this, that. Very fascinating for sure. But that does it mean like the tree have kind of mind that plan, might this root go there and this root go there, and then this root go like this. It's hard to say. It's some more kind of nature, some causes and conditions, some chemicals, some,
follow the path of least
yeah. When it's grow bigger and bigger, and then you need space, right? And then you had to, whichever way that's make some path to separate. This is where you go. It's something about our body. Our body and the mind are not the same, right? Anyway, so we can do a lot of discussion for this. For now, let's go to.
Can I just say
Yes.
one more thing about the plants?
Sure.
There is a book called The Secret Life of Plants.
Secret Life of the Plants.
Secret Life of Plants. And what it just says a fascinating account of the physical, emotional, and spiritual relations between plants and man.
Plants and man, yeah, for sure. That's plants and human beings. So let's include everyone. I'm not joking. Plants and human beings.
Ishama, may I share?
What was that?
Yeah, sometimes.
1 minute. Okay, when somebody on the online, they want to
Okay,
share. Yes,
yeah, may I share just
Yeah,
one
please, let's see.
information real quick? All right,
You need a
so
little louder.
oh, okay, can you hear me okay?
Yes, yes, yes. Go.
All right, so if we look at every situation, there would be some exceptions for sure, and
Exception.
then the exceptions, then we have to investigate further to see what is really truly is. However, just on a general term, sentence, according to Cambridge Dictionary, it means that able to experience feelings and
Able to
feelings such as joy, sadness, fear, anger, disgust, surprise, and trust. So those feelings, human beings can have all that, but a plant, I don't think the plant can have all these emotions in one plant. So usually, in a general term, usually plants, they live and grow by using photosynthesis. Okay, and that means that if you give the plant sunlight, soil, or nutritional substance, like a special aquatic water or something, and you give it the right temperature, thing like that, it will survive, and it grows. But so let's say if I go and I cut that salad, right? I cut salad. I mean, it doesn't have a fear. It doesn't run away from me. It will grow me new leaf later on. So that's how I look at it. And then the and also we have to be careful too, because the way that our mind perceived the objects around us. So sometimes we can impose our perception, our thinking over certain objects around us. So that's why when I know that there is some people that express that plant may have minds. However, that is something that we need to investigate further. But here we just say in a general term, and I agree with Gesema that I also have like a real story, but it's too long to be say here. But usually when we say a plant has spirit, in Buddhism, that means that there is some being residing on that tree, on that rock. And so it's not that the plant itself has that capability, but it's a being residing on that plant.
Being residing in that plant.
I just want to share that.
Okay, thank you. That's good. Thank you. Yeah.
May I say something?
Yes, go.
I think it's slightly dangerous to put humans above nature when we are actually one and the same, right? So I think it's very important to remember that. That
Human, what was that?
humans aren't above nature. We're
Human are above nature.
it, right?
Yeah, we are connected with it. Yes.
So it's almost as simple as that. We aren't above. It's all within, right? So the mycelium and the trees, they all connect towards one another. The earth is a living thing, right? The earth was before, nature was before us, and we are not above nature. We are part of it.
I think nature's above us.
Yeah.
We need certain things for us to survive that we can get from nature, whether it's your your plants, your food, your nutrition, your sunlight, your water. We're walking to the apple. You know what I'm saying?
If you trace the continuity of our body, the elements, if you trace where this body came from, you can't find where it come from, the starting point. Can we find or not? Evolution things, explain different, slightly different, and Buddhist cosmology, Buddhist, physical, it explain a little different, differently. We can study the, Buddhist, there's a text called Abhidharma, where you explain about these things. Sure. Yeah, human beings are part of the nature or not, which depend on which nature you're talking. Anyway, so let's move somewhere a little bit. We have left only 19 minutes. That's okay. Go for a longer day. Yes, yes. Anyway, so because of the text have like a few quotation at the beginning before really starting the actual thing. Then there are 3-4 kind of quotation. One is from the Buddha, which was already read. And then the second one is, let's see, mind is the chief and precede them all. If with impure mind one acts or speak, misery flows. Like a cart follow the ox. Meaning, mind is the main thing. Whether you will, whether you lead into the right direction or the happiness or the right place or the wrong place. This is what it's really meaning, the steady mind is very important. The others external thing you can not manipulate, but you can transform, you can change it. For example, this table, whether you want to keep this table in front of you, on back side or top or down, it's up to us. The table cannot do much. It cannot decide. So we can decide, but then our hand, the physical action and the verbal actions, also driven by the mind. We plan. The mind is more like a remote control. Let's say for, if you want to show something on the screen, you have to have some kind of projector or the remote control or all the condition put there, and without missing one cannot come. But everything is programmed by beings, right? And the beings are who are sentient, meaning who have mind. The mind is the chief. Mind is the main thing. That's why we have to take care of the mind. If the mind is the main, wherever you lead, wherever you want go, then you have to take care of it. Otherwise, if it could be dangerous. That's what I think the main thing here. The main message from these verses are like that. But then one by one we could come later. And then another quotation actually is, I think these both are from the Vasubandhu, Abhidhamma Kosh, Acharya Vasubandhu. Acharya Vasubandhu is I think like a 6th century Nalanda masters who have written like a commentary on the Buddhist universe. It has 8 chapter which explain in different things, and the chapter 3 is very important. Chapter 3 explain about the cosmology, how how the universe evolve and how it will degenerate. It's taught a lot about chapter 3. But chapter 5 is talk about a lot about this affliction, desire, ignorance, all in details, one by one. Chapter 5 is very, very helpful.
What was this called again?
Abhidharma Kosh. Abhidharma Kosh, Abhidhar. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never.
I'm not gonna sound.
Not gonna sign that out.
Abhidharma Kosh.
Why is that?
Okay, this two verse. Yeah, two verse here is from the Abhidharma Kosh. The first one is mind is the chief that precedes them all. If with impure mind one acts or speak, misery flows. That's the verse number 1. Like a cart follow the ox. When ancient time, the cart, like pulled by the ox, right? Wherever the carts go, the ox go, the carts should go. So nowadays, a train, wherever the pilot, lead, the train, the cart will go, right? Same thing. And then the second one is mind is the chief and precede them all. If with pure mind one acts or speak, happiness flow, like a shadow that never leaves. It's a beautiful way. 2 verses. It's pretty good to, memorize or think about it. And whenever you're working, I should make pure mind, more like the motivated to benefit oneself and others. And with the ill feeling, ill kind of, like wrong kind of a plan, pure. And if you go, maybe seemingly temporarily think that you have successful, but at the end you will fall. So this is what they say. They said 2 verses from Abhidhamma Kosh. And then the first one is the Dhammapada of Buddhas. And then there's another, few, let me see what I'm doing. Oh gosh. Acharya Chandrakirti and then His Holiness. 2 more verses. Shall you read? Yeah. Okay, I'll read it. So then we will start. Okay, now and then another one is the diversity of the world aroused from karmas. Here the karmas, which in turn is the intention and its actions. Intention is the mental karma. What give rise to by the intention are physical and verbal. This is actually coming from the Abhidhamma Kosh itself. Sorry. Have you got it? It said the diversity of the world. The diversity of the world, where you have so many diversities, we have so many, countless, right? The diversity of the worlds aroused from karma. Karma simply means action. Okay. Not of course you can do like a deep sort of philosophical action, but aroused from karma. Karma mean here which in turn is the intention. The karma, the real karma is the intention, the mental intention, my mind. It is mind, it's mental factors actually. And it's and its action. Intention is the mental karma. Intentionally, when you are intending, I'm going to do this. That's the mental intention. That's the mental karma. And then with this, intention, our verbal and physical action arise, right? With the intention of the mind, my intention, going to pick up this one, right? Without, in some time, we did say they said, in science, what they say is, what was that? Instinct. They talk something instinct, right? For example, a mother who have like a very like 1-day-old baby, for example, if he or she, crying, the mother do not really have time to think, oh, I should go. Well, maybe you have, but instinctively just run and grab the baby, right? Does it really follow the intention, that the physical and then the verbal action? Yes, for sure, I think. But very quick. Yeah, yes.
So, in our reincarnations.
Reincarnation.
Any other sentient being.
What was that?
My understanding is that depending on our karma, we could be reincarnated into other type of sentient being very different from us. So what about this is one connection with what you just said, like wasps. They don't appear to be making critical decisions. But is their instinct the intention of their karma? Because wasps are considered sentient beings.
Yeah, they are wasps.
They're not, the wasp never flies up to me and says, you want me to get out of the room or bite you?
Okay, wasps. Okay, wasps. They are reborn.
The Western scientists usually call it instinct. So
No. Yeah, right. No, I'm not saying instinct is karma. No, I'm not saying instinct is karma. The main karma is intention, the mental intention. And then with the intention, the verbal and physical action take place. So what is your
Wasps are sentient beings.
yes,
How do they don't appear to have intention.
why not?
Well, why not? Because that's what we were talking about.
Because food or
Yeah, there are. Was but there's maybe okay, maybe their physical structure is slightly different, right? The wasps, birds and these things, their physical structure is slightly different than us for sure. We have the different, our physical, structures are so different are there. But wasps, ants, snake, like a crocodile, no matter how big their physical body is, they do have mind. And then who is most intelligent, who is not intelligent? We talk a lot about human beings are very intelligent. Some human mind is so sophisticated, but some people say the elephant is very intelligent. And then there's some scientists who study a lot about birds and said there are some birds so intelligent. And then there are some birds that they can hear like thousand mile sound that they can hear, but we human being, ears have no capacity to hear these things. And there are some birds who have the eyesight so strong that they can see far away, but we cannot. So this physical thing is just it came from our parents, so it came from our parents. The physical form is came from our parents, but we're talking here is more like the mental consciousness, yes. Yeah.
Well, this is just on the point of like, the big question for me is like, what is an intention? Right? I think one of the very agreed upon ways of understanding intention and its distinction from like things like volition,
Volition.
or like a will is
Willpower.
intention. Yeah, like there's all these terms that I think people kind of confuse this being at the same time. Intention is directedness. There's a direction of mind. It's like some aim or object to which the activity is directed. So like the wasp is intending on getting in and building that nest wherever it is around, right? Like it kind of has an object that it's pointing to, or it's going to land on a thing. So it has an intention, or like a directedness. Sometimes how intention.
You put beautiful, words and direction and directing where you go. Yeah. That's the mind, the intention is right.
Yeah, and it might not have like made that up for itself, right? Like the wasp might not have like consciously decided upon its own object, like maybe something more volitional, right? Like
which would be like instinct essentially.
Could be an instinct, right? Like its intention could be decided by instinct,
right?
Right. Yeah.
He's still like I was saying, wandering freely to obtain food or put stuff to build its nest or whatever.
A little
bit.
Yeah.
Because of the different physical structure of the different sentient beings, they may have the slightly different reaction, different manifest their mind, but in overall, sentient beings mean the sentient means someone who have mind, and then the mind is have like a sensory mind, and then the mental, conscious mind, mental conscious, mind, consciousness, sem is mind, yid is what is that? There are 3 terms in Tibetan word. But anyway, mind, consciousness, awareness, another term. So these are non-physical, one statement, very, very important statement you have to make. But whether you agree or not, doesn't matter. But you have to have some kind of certain, like a structure to do the discussion and the debate. We can make some really interesting kind of debate, in a statement. Mind or mental factor, mind, consciousness, awareness, intelligent, whatever you call, these are non-physical, number one, non-tangible, but its existence. And the mind is the chief. The mind is the main thing, whether you are going up or down, whether you are walking toward the right direction or the wrong direction. And mind is the main thing, that whether you want to lead happiness or misery. Mind is the main thing, that whether you want to be good human being or bad human beings. Mind is the main thing. So these are the statements I could make. And then whether it's true or not, you can check, we can experience, we can analyze ourselves within ourselves. And then intention, karma just came in these verses, right? But we can do more like what is intention and how many different types of intention we have. We have all these coming in the next pages. Right now, it's just only a few kind of verses before this text start, before the main subject start. Some source. This is the traditional or the classical way to learn. Sometimes get some kind of like a authentic source of the teaching. The Buddha have made this statement, and then his follower or his commentator have this kind of statement, and then it worked for them. And then up to the last statement is actually His Holiness the Dalai Lama, where he have talk about this some conversation or exchange going on between Western scientists and then the philosopher. And this is what we are just starting the line down. And then the number one we're going to do working is like the sevenfold division of the mind. We're going to study the sevenfold division of the mind. And these statements, it cover overall concept of the mind, the overall concept of the mind. And then we just pick up a few kind of example where this, what is sentient, what is not sentience. And you talk a lot about whether trees are sentient or not. And I would say trees have life, plants have life, but plants have no consciousness. And then some can argue, how come their reaction, their leaves, their roots, their fruit, they react something really interestingly. Looks like there's some kind of conscious or some kind of intelligent or something like that. But I wouldn't say those beings who reside into these trees are making it, but it's more like a chemical or the soil or the sunlight, all this condition that make them like reacting differently, rather than the mind driven by the mind. Yes.
So is this saying that a sentient being in the Buddhist sense has to have intention?
Sentient being.
Sentient being has to have intention?
Sentient being have intention, yes. Well, sentient being mind, or the mind intention is one of the mental factors of the mind. The primary mind is divided into two: primary mind and then mental factors. And the primary mind, we have 5 primary mind. We will study more later. And number one, sentient being, sentient and non-sentient. Sentient means someone who have mind. They are sentient. They are included into sentient. And the rest of the existence in the universe, they are not sentient. And then example, this is not sentient and I'm sentient. This stick is non-sentient,
right,
and I'm sentient. This is this is the division. But then why not? Why not this stick is not sentient? I mean, sorry, why this stick is not sentient, and me as a person is sentient? Because I have mind, my mind and body work together. This is just a physical, some collection of, some scientists say a collection of atoms.
But when that stick was a tree, was it sentient? Like you're sentient now, but when you pass away, you're not.
No, trees are not sentient. Trees have life. Life. L-I-F-E, life.
Yeah.
Whether tree have life or not, life, yes. But do you say trees are sentient beings or not? Trees are sentient or not? I would say no, but then we can debate, we can argue why not. And I'm really open to say, sometimes you can pretend, yes, trees are sentient, because it's a beautiful reaction. Oh yeah, I hit, okay, 1 minute. Yeah, it's already time. Somebody have go. Are you okay? Because I will share one thing. I think one of the minor life or what, I can't remember. His Holiness was sharing some very good scientists who are study a lot about plant. Like you're saying, they study a lot about, they observe. They really observe these plants when they plant this in like a trees or flowers. And when you water them, and then, what do you call it? Like when there's weeds around, take the weed away, and then you make this soil, condition, good condition to grow them, and with a love, with a care, with a very gentleness. If you work with that very love and gentleness and warmth, even plants grow it's very beautifully. And if someone who have some kind of little, mentally ill, little kind of angry, grumpy sort of thing, if they, water these plants, even this plant doesn't grow that well. They did some kind of research and observed this kind of thing. And it's clear kind of its indication with the love and care and warmth, even plants grow beautifully. So meaning,
Perception of something.
yeah, external environment and internal environment, they are very connected. And you can, sometimes you see, like, if you go some certain place, enter in, you feel like, it's the same thing, just a wall and something like that, but you feel some kind of relax and just very ease if you just enter into like a temple. For example, if you go to see His Holiness the Dalai Lama, if you enter in his room, even though he's in physical not there, once you enter in from the gate inside, you just feel like relief and no danger, no fear, no kind of, you just feel like you're being nurtured, being like you are in safe place. Nobody will hurt you. This kind of feeling that you could have. And sometimes, even though the house is a really beautiful, maybe million dollars kind of cost building, if you enter there, you feel like a hollow, you feel like kind of something is missing. I really have this experience. And it's huge hotel, big, I don't know how much they pay for like a night. I need to I feel like, why I'm here? So why, there's everything here, there's a phone over here, there, even in the toilet. What is that? It's like some sort of burden, instead of making you like a ease and warmth and like a kind of interesting, So this really clear indication is like, if you act with the warmth, with the pure motivation, more kind of conscious, more aware, more caring, plants grow like that way too. But he didn't say that the plants have mind, or the plants are sentient, or plants have consciousness, but this is the some of the scientists' observation and the finding that they're bringing. So, and then I think some in the US, because of human being, we damage our environment, right? And then some of the species, they instinct. And sometimes, many of the trees, vegetation also instinct, right? And then there are some who care about the environment, and they work but their own way and try to put some plants around and taking care. There was one pond, somebody said that, in the pond, it's like kind of more like a polluted, and then the fish and everything, they used to have fish in that pond, but somehow the environmental, you know, degradation, whatever, this all the fish are died, and then somebody came and somebody take care of the pond really well, clean them up, create the right condition, and for to keep as the nature as pure as possible. And after some years, there was a fish actually growing and they are freely moving here and there, because the water is actually what is that, home for the fish, right? I mean, There are many others, many others in Jinping too. But fish, for sure, without water, they will die. It's like straight away, right? So, we can do with our own interest and take care of ourselves. The one statement say like, think globally, act locally. Have you heard that? That's really important. So I think we should stop now because we couldn't start the thing, but we read 3-4 verses at the beginning, which is, it's not really imposing. You have to agree what they're saying. It's more like some statement, beautiful, smart people have put in there, and you can learn from them. And then the final is we can make our own decision whether what is what. But we have limitation. We don't understand that much. And then just further to dig into it. And these verses have like, there are some people who have written like a commentary, like volumes of volumes. Because what is sentient, what is not sentient? You can write like volumes and volumes using different example. So the summary is, mind is main thing. We have to take care of it. Meaning we have to watch our mind really closely and then make the right, what do you call it? Give the service for the right service for the mind. And then if you take care of the mind well, and physical body and the verbal, speech and more body and speech will be taken care of naturally.
Right mind, right action.
Yeah, right, yeah, right mind, right action, exactly. Okay, so thank you so much. So we will stop, because it's already 7 minutes, 7 minute extra. So let's dedicate our, good action or good intention we have created. And then also with the body and speech. And dedicate that to multiply and, benefit from many, many, many beings, which include ourselves. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Excellent.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Bye.